Hi, welcome to lesson 5 of solving simultaneous equations. Today we are going to continue with the next stage of elimination. But first, as always, we're going to start with a couple of starter question examples. So if you pause the video, please, and have a go at these questions. Okay, let's look at example A. We've been asked to find the solution of 2b add a equals 1 and b subtract 3a equals negative 10. Remember, to be able to do elimination, we need to have either the same amount of a or b in each equation and opposite signs. We have the opposite signs in the a term, so in order to proceed with the elimination, we need to multiply equation 1 by 3. So equation 1 becomes 6b add 3a equals 3. Equation 2 remains the same. We can now proceed with the elimination by adding the two equations together. This will get rid of the a terms, and we will have a total of 7b equals negative 7. Divide by 7 to find b equals negative 1. Now we need to find the a term, so we substitute b equals negative 1 into one of the original equations. I've chosen equation 1 because I think that's easiest. So equation 1 is 2b add a equals 1. This will become negative 2 add a equals 1. Take the negative 2 over, so a is 1 add 2, and then a equals 3. So our solution is 3, negative 1. Remember to double check your solution in the original equation, so when we put a equal to 3 and b equal to negative 1 into equation 1, we should get an answer of 1. And for equation 2, we should get an answer of negative 10, which we do, so therefore we know our solution is correct. If we look at example B, this time we have 2c plus d equals negative 3, and negative c add 2d equals negative 11. Again, we are looking for the same amount of c or d in each equation and opposite signs. We have the opposite signs in the c term this time, so we need to multiply equation 2 by 2. Equation 1 remains the same, but equation 2 becomes negative 2 add 4 equals negative 22. Now we can proceed with the elimination by adding the two equations together, which will give us 5d equals negative 25. The c terms are eliminated. Divide by 5 to get d equals negative 5. Now to get the value of the c term, we substitute d equals negative 5 into equation 1 because we think that's the easiest. So 2c add d equals negative 3 becomes 2c add negative 5 equals negative 3. This simplifies to just 2c subtract 5 equals negative 3. So 2c will be negative 3 add 5. 2c therefore will equal 2 and c will equal 1. So our solution is 1, negative 5. Remember, c then d. Double checking our solution in the original equations. Equation 1 should give us negative 3 and equation 2 should give us negative 11. That way we know our solution is correct. Okay, let's look at today's lesson. So, our learning intentions and success criteria are exactly the same. Firstly, in lesson 5, a little definition again. So the word coefficient, this means the amount of x or y you have in a particular term. So for example, the term 4x has a coefficient of 4. So 4 is a coefficient because we have 4 lots of x. Remember, for elimination, we need the same coefficients and opposite signs. Sometimes we need to multiply both equations to get this. So let's look at an example. We need the same amount of A or the same amount of B in both equations. We don't have that at the moment, but what we do have is the opposite signs in the b terms. Now, what we need to do here then is multiply each equation by the coefficient in the other equation. So what we mean by this is, for equation 1, we would multiply it by 2 because the coefficient of the b term in equation 2 is 2. For equation 2, we multiply that by 3 because the coefficient of the b term here is 3. So basically, we're multiplying by the opposite coefficients. Equation 1 becomes 4a plus 6b equals negative 6. Remember, every single term is multiplied by the 2. And equation 2 becomes 9a subtract 6b equals 45 because every term is multiplied by 3. Then we proceed as we have done for all the other elimination examples. Let's do question 5 in completion. So, just to recap, we decide what to multiply by. We multiply equation 1 and 2 by the coefficient in the other equation, and then we follow the same procedure as before. So, equation 1 will be multiplied by 2 because we have a 2b here. Equation 2 will be multiplied by 3 because we have a 3b here. So multiplying equation 1, we get 4a plus 6b equals negative 6. Multiplying equation 2, we get 9a subtract 6b equals 45. And then we follow the same procedure, so to eliminate, we add the two equations together. This will eliminate the b terms and leave us with a total of 13a equals 39. We divide by 13 to get a equals 3. Now to get the b term, we substitute a equals 3 into equation 1. So 2a plus 3b equals negative 3 becomes 6 plus 3b equals negative 3. 3b would therefore be negative 3 subtract 6. So 3b is equal to negative 9. Divide to get b equals negative 3. So our solution is 3 minus 3. A equals 3 and b equals negative 3. Again, double check your solution in equation 1 and equation 2. Equation 1 should give us negative 3, equation 2 should give us 15. If we get those answers, then we know our solution is correct. Let's try a second full example just to make sure that you understand the process. So example 6, we have use elimination to solve the pair of equations. So we have negative 3x plus 4y equals negative 12 for equation 1, and 4x plus 3y equals 41 for equation 2. Remember, we decide what to multiply by, multiply equation 1 and 2 by the positive coefficient in the other equation, follow the same procedure as before. So, what do we multiply equation 1 by? So, we don't have the same amount of x or y, but we do have opposite signs in the x terms, so we will be eliminating the x terms, in which case equation 1 will need to be multiplied by 4. And equation 2 will be multiplied by the opposite coefficient of 3. So equation 1 becomes minus 12x plus 16y equals negative 48. Equation 2 becomes 12x plus 9y equals 123. Now we can proceed with the elimination. So we will eliminate the x terms by adding the two equations together. So this will give us a total of 25y equals 75. Divide by 25 to get y equals 3. Substitute y equals 3 into equation 2. So 4x plus 3y equals 41. So that becomes 4x plus 9 equals 41. Take the 9 over and subtract. So 4x is 41, take away 9, so 4x is 32. And our final step is to divide by 4 to get x equals 8. So our solution is 8, 3. Remember, x first, then y second. Double check our solution in equation 1 and equation 2. So for equation 1, we should get the answer -12, and for equation 2, we should get the answer 41. If we get these answers, then we know our solution is correct. Okay, now it's your turn. Go to posts or files on the team to get today's exercise and answers. Complete the questions into your class jotter. Please make sure you show all your working and then mark your work at the end of the exercise. Thank you.